Hello, my name is Gustavo Carrillo, and through this video I would like to share with you what is my personal meaning of life. But before that, I would like to get some introduction on this theme. The question is, what is the meaning of life? There is any meaning in life? So through this video I'm going to answer questions like what is meaning of life, what is life, and why we live in community. And I would like to end with telling you what is my personal meaning of life. But before we start, let's ask the question. This question is being asked by a lot of people in colleges, universities, in different philosophies, different countries, and they ask the question, what I'm here for? There is a reason why I'm here for. What is the meaning of my life in this world? So the question, what is the meaning of life, is not a standard answer. Let me tell you that many people have different ways of seeing the sun. Some of them come up on a sunny day and they say, oh, I hate the sun. Some other ones come up and they might say, I enjoy this beautiful day. So we are different kinds, we are different types, and we are different ways of perceive life. So there's not an individual standard concept of this is the meaning of life for everybody. So that's why it's so complicated to come up with an answer with this question. So I believe that there's no meaning of life set for everybody. I believe that single person has to come up and realize what is meaning of life. Because it might be different than my meaning of life, might be different than the meaning of life for those who are watching this video. So the meaning of life, I believe, depends on each individual. It's created by each individual. Many people, many philosophies have come up with their meaning of life, and I have a couple over here that I would like to share with you just to have an idea of how people perceive the meaning of life, or what they bring to the world that should be a meaning of life. We have the meaning of life according to Platonism. According to Platonism, the meaning of life is to attain the highest form of knowledge, or the idea of the good, from which all goods derive utility and value. Another one is Aristotelianism. And according to them, a person had to study and practice in order to become good. Therefore, the person who wants to become virtuous has to not only study the virtue, but practice and be virtuous. Liberalism's meaning of life is to reach individual liberty. They want natural rights such as retaining the wealth generated by each own work. And lastly, Christianity believes that man's chief ends is to glorify God. As you see, many people, many groups of people, many cultures, many parents, many groups of religions have come with their opinion on what the meaning of life should be. But why to struggle through all this? Why to try to find out what is the struggle, what is the meaning of life? Well, because life has a meaning. I truly believe that we came to this world with a purpose, with a meaning. We're just not here surviving. We are here because it has to be something that we had to pursue, something we had to go forward to. Life has a motive to live, right? If we are alive, it's because we got to do something. And is there opportunity to do something? That's the better word to say it. Don't you believe that it has to be a meaning of life? Let's put this example. Sisyphus' punishment was to carry this big rock in the shape of a ball and push this rock up the hill all the way to the top just to release it, and the ball will go back again to the beginning. Sisyphus' life is supposed to do this all his life for eternity. Goes back down, push that ball again to the top and release it and let it go down to the beginning. But you might say that, what is the meaning of this life then? It's just punishment? Well, has to be a reason. Maybe the reason or the purpose that Sisyphus was there was to finish his life, or for eternity, pushing the ball. So through that meaning, through that purpose, he finds some other pleasures, happiness, and other things. But please realize with me that it has to be a meaning of, a motive to be alive. I can tell you another example. If somebody in a dealership, let's call this Chrysler, Ford, Honda, whatever dealership you like, and they create this new brand car, and the guys who create this, the engineers who create this new model, their purpose in their mind was to have this car driven on the streets by a person. It was not to keep it forever in the dealership. It was not to be kept on your driveway. The purpose for that car, for the creation of that car, it was to be driven on the streets. So your life was given to you so you can do something with it. You cannot just walk around without doing nothing. You have to do something. It has to be a purpose for your life. Just like the purpose for a car, there's a purpose for your life. Many people through time, many philosophers also been saying things so we can use those as guidance in finding our purpose in life. One of them is Socrates. Socrates says that the unexamined life is not worth living. He also said about happiness that comes from knowing that you live a well life, that your life mattered, and that you oriented yourself towards meaningful things rather than superficial things. According to Bella, another philosopher of our times, he thinks that we're missing from American individualism the value of community. And Aristotle taught that the life lived well leads to a kind of happiness, and even involve a kind of a pleasure. So you see all these people trying to tell us that there's different ways to see life, but also to understand that that is a meaning, that is something we have to do with our lives. So where we find the meaning of life? Where? Well, different disciplines, different activities can guide us and give us meaning in our lives. For example, we can find meaning of life in popular media as television, radio, news, music, films, all these kind of activities. And religions, science, philosophies, literatures, Greek culture, and even some modern literature like Robert Bella or Cornel West. Or maybe some articles from Hegel, Camus, David Foster Wallace, and Judith Butler. So all these people trying to give their insight of what meaning of life should be. But once again, I don't believe there is one specific meaning of life for everybody. But I do believe that you have to come up. You have to realize that your life is worth something. In order for you to find this meaning, you have to come to some struggle. And I really like the lecture that we received from Hegel and the Politics of Recognition, where he talks about master-slave dialectic. And what I like from this one is because he says this: selfhood is a result of a process. So it doesn't come automatically. It's a process. And as we grow in life, we know that it's a process. You know, the learning of language, the learning of mathematics, the learning of how to drive a car, all these things are through a process. So our selfhood is also developed in a process. But through this process, there's going to be some struggle, has to be some pain. That's why we have to suffer through life. That's why we cry when somebody dies. That's why when we feel sad when we broke up with our girlfriend or boyfriend. So that's a struggle we have to go to shape our lives. And how we shape is because we struggle to live in community, which is another thing that I believe that we're not here to be alone. Definitely. If we're here, we're not the only ones. We're not in an isolated island. We are here with a multitude of people. And we have to realize that we need to deal with them. If you want to go to the store, you will deal with people. If you want to go to school, you're going to deal with people. So our meaning of life has to do with community. We have to learn how to live in community. And then he says that this community will bring some friction, some struggle, and that's how it's going to be shaped. Our selfhood is going to be shaped through this community struggle. But then once we are in that struggle, we're going to realize that we're going to come with a stage that is the recognition. And through recognition, we will find out that we're not going to be just shaped by others, but that we need each other to live. And he put an example in the slave and the master. The slave has to realize that is capable as the master to do things, and the master has to realize that the slave has equal as him. So when they both realize that they need each other, then is when you find your meaning of life. So that brings me to the last part of this video. No matter where you are, but wherever you are, you got to be a reason why you're there. So you got to count every minute towards what you need to do. And one of the things that I find out really, really important is that religion, in my personal meaning of life, is so important. When I met God in 1992, it was a change in habits and things that I can do, things that I cannot do. And as much as I started reading the Bible and other literature and listening to other people, and I understood deeply in my heart, I realized that definitely we're not here by mistake. We are here with a purpose. And when the teacher showed us in one video in class about Rick Warren and purpose-driven life, my heart starts, jumping and having fun, because that's the way I believe life purpose is. This is my opinion, my personal opinion, is that we have these 5 purposes in life. The first one is that we are created to praise God, to offer real worship to God. We was not just created here because we're going to just breathe in, breathe out, and die. No, our lives were given from a supreme God who wants to be praised. And that's what we are here for, to praise His name, to praise His glory, to praise Himself. The second one is the purpose of living together, which is the fellowship, communion. So our purpose in life is to live together, is to find out how different we are and find out a way that we can communicate and live together happy. I love to do good things to people. I love to help them in any way that I can. And this is just the way I am, because I believe that that's the way that my life was given to me for. The third one is to live our lives to the image of somebody, and that somebody is Christ the Lord. So if we can shape our lives and learn how to be a good disciple, then we will find out the meaningful life. Then number 4 is the purpose to practice real ministry. What the ministry is a job. Do something with your life. Go ahead and help the poor. Go and help kids and teach them how to speak, how to talk, how to write, how to do math. Got to be something that you have to do. Find out yourself, what is it that you have to do. And lastly is to tell the others, once you find out this purpose of lives, tell to other ones about it. So I know that you probably, after I say that my purpose of life is a religious one, then you probably start eating your chips, or maybe wondering when this video is going to end. Well, let me tell you, it's going to end in a few minutes. But please, don't let this video to end without you realizing that There's more time for you to live. There's going to be a time that we're going to die, that we cannot continue doing the things we can do here. So please, make your life worth living. Find out what is it that your meaning of life is and pursue it. Invest your money, invest your time, invest your strength, and try to come up with. You know what? I will tell you something. You might laugh at my meaning of life, and I might laugh too, because if at the end of my life I find out that God doesn't exist, that God was just a structure that the mankind create so we can blame on him all the violence in the world, we can blame on him on the sickness of the world. But if I end up my life finding out that God doesn't exist and everything I did was probably meaningful for other people, I will feel good that I invest my life trying to reach something. It's sad that you might live your life without doing nothing. Believe in something then. Believe in the sun, believe in the moon, whatever you want to believe. But please, make your life worth living. Just don't stay there sitting watching movies all day long. Go and find out what you are good for and strive to find your meaning of life. It's nothing better than realize that in your mind and start living your life happy. That's the way that makes me happy. When I help others, when I follow God, when I read His Word, when I pursue to be closer to the image of God. So, I hope this video makes you realize that it is a motive why you are living, and it's a meaning of the life that you was granted for, and please make every minute count. Thank you.